Welcome to Season 2 of the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by community members and friends of Shekina Garden in Pai, Thailand. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hello friends, we have just recently relaunched our Patreon community over at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast, and we're currently looking for new patrons to come along and join our community of supporters. Maybe that's you. For $5 or more a month, you can support this podcast and the community overheads that we have here at Shekina Garden in Pai. We're in a season at the moment where the little pond of contributors that we have here are not quite able to cover costs, so we're looking for some folks to come on board and help us keep the lights on. As a thank you, you'll get extras every month, like some bonus meditations and other goodies. And starting now and for the month of September, anyone who joins the $5 tier and up, so any new patrons at any level, will receive a limited edition postcard designed by our very own Rachel Ford with a handwritten note of welcome from us here in Pai, just as a super heartfelt thank you for joining us. We'd love for you to consider coming on board even for $5 a month. It really makes such a big difference. So please head on over to patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast to have a look and maybe join us. Thanks so much for considering it, friends.
Hello, friends. It's Ro and Ray here. Hello and welcome. You've made it to the Shekina Meditation Podcast. Hi, Ray. How you doing?
Good, I'm doing good.
Me too. It's Season 2, Episode 72 of the podcast here today. And as always, we want to let you know our dearly beloved patrons are supporting this podcast. Thank you, patrons. We're raising money to help keep our community running, and your patronage is part of the way that we do that. So thank you so much. If you're interested in joining this community, you can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast and support us for $1 or more per month. And we're working out some cute little bonus things to send out to patrons in the coming times. So keep your eyes peeled, patrons. Yeah, come and join.
Another way that you can support us in the making of this podcast is just by pressing on something, on an Instagram post where we share it, or you can rate it on iTunes, you can send out the Spotify link to your friends, just some way that you can share the podcast or rate it or review it. So thank you so much. We know when you do this, when you support the podcast, either through Patreon or through sharing, we know that you appreciate the fact that we're putting this into the world. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Absolutely. So today's episode on the podcast is a Lectio Divina meditation on 3 of the I am statements of Jesus with Ray. Ray's going to offer us some exercises to help us find quiet readiness for our meditation time today. Then she's going to guide us through the statements with loads of space for quiet contemplation and a couple of gentle questions along the way to help guide us.
And third, we recommend that you spend some time processing your meditation. So that can be with a group, by listening to each person in turn. Maybe you can use a talking stick or a stone to just really direct all of your attention toward the person who's sharing, not interrupting one another or correcting one another, just listening. What was your experience, is the question we often ask. What was your experience with this meditation today? So you can share and listen with others, or if you're on your own, spend some time maybe writing in a journal, or making a little drawing, or doing some movement, or sitting in prayer afterwards. Something that helps you to take the meditation and bring it into your life, into your day, into your memory, and helps it to grow a little deeper.
Okay, let's begin.
today I thought we would do a meditation called a Lectio Divina, which is divine reading, but with the idea of taking just 3 statements that Jesus said about himself. Shekina meditation is a kind of meditation that's based on experiencing the divine presence as we meditate. So we're not alone, we're allowing room for the divine presence to dwell and to speak and to play and to tickle our brains and our hearts, like just kind of that idea of play. And I think what I really love about this kind of meditation is that each time there might be just the tiniest little bit of motion inside, it might be just a tiny little moment of connection, either with the pictures in the beginning while we're doing some preliminary exercises or with the words themselves. It doesn't have to be some grand thing. It's just a lifetime of spending these little moments dedicated to sitting in the divine presence. And the words can be a way to direct our thoughts. But I think the meditation really will come to you in a different way than it comes to anybody else in the circle. Everyone has their own questions and thoughts and paths and backgrounds. And so when you come with all of that, and it's different for everyone. After, I will start with some exercises to kind of prepare us, and then I will read these words with a few directions, and then we will pass the talking stick at the very end, just to share very honestly from our experience. And that's a time that it's really just, like I said, we all experience it very differently, and so hearing from one another can kind of round out our own experience and make it bigger in a way. So, you are very welcome here. This is a space for you to come and sit and to be sitting in the presence of the divine today. And it's your place for focus, it's your place for connection, it's for you. I have chosen 3 things that Jesus said about himself. So there's so many different thoughts and ideas out there about who Jesus was walking on the earth. There is a set of things that he said about himself, and I've chosen 3 of those things that are called the I am statements. And we might, depending on how we're feeling, they might fall differently on each of us. You can really have different response to these statements. Everyone will have a different response to these statements. And so I'm going to guide us through them a little bit, just with the idea that we'll be able to engage with them in different ways. So let's begin with our posture, just finding a way to sit that feels comfortable and where our spine can be very long and tall and free, and the crown of our head just sort of reaching, floating. You do not have to hold this posture. You are very welcome to move around during the meditation. But to begin, it's nice to start seated, a long straight spine, and bring your attention to your breath. With your awareness coming to your lungs expanding and your rib cage expanding and enlarging. That full feeling you get when your lungs are full of air. And then the exhale, releasing all the air back out into the air around you. also imagine following the air as it moves through your airways, gives a little swirl in your lungs, and then comes rushing back out. When you're ready, you can bring your awareness to your sense of hearing, to the sounds that you hear around you. Today we have a combination of man-made sounds and nature sounds. Practice sending your awareness out toward the sounds that you hear, remaining with them for a moment and then moving to another sound. You can use sound in your meditation. If you find that you're wandering and then suddenly a sound comes, you can let it help you come back to a place of focus. Engaging with attention and sound and distraction is all a part of meditation. It is the act of bringing yourself back again and again. Bring your awareness to your sense of touch. Maybe there's air moving on your skin. Your body is connected to the ground. Perhaps your hands can feel each other or whatever is beneath them. Travel from one sensation to another. The weight of being connected to the ground. The lightness of air on your skin. The warmth, perhaps, of your hands. all of what you experience is in this body, comes through this body. And then we come with many thoughts. All of us with our different mornings that we've already had, the days ahead. Our different languages. Plans. Imagine that all of these thoughts are at your feet, running by your feet like a stream of water. Perhaps the thoughts are like leaves on the surface of the water, floating past. You can spend some time looking at them, noticing them, seeing what drifts by. When you're ready, just follow the thoughts, follow the leaves as they rush past. Take a little walk, following the stream, until you find that it comes to a quiet space where it empties into a large pool of water, like a little lake or a pond in the forest. And this is very calm, very still. Everything settles. This is a place of welcome for you. This is a place of love for you. And you are not alone here. There is opportunity to sit in the divine presence, to touch and encounter and be surrounded by the love of the Spirit. If you feel at all distracted during the rest of the meditation, you can imagine that you come back to this space of quiet. You come back to the little pool in the forest. If you feel comfortable, you can offer a few words. maybe words of intention or words of like a question. I think mine today will simply be, I am here. John the Beloved was one of the followers of Jesus, one of his students. He wrote many different statements that Jesus said about himself. He copied them down as they were said. And over the last 2,000 years, there have been many different pictures and ideas and thoughts written or drawn or represented in some way about Jesus. The truth is that Jesus was a Jewish rabbi who was walking in the wilderness with a group of people, men and women, living a very simple life and teaching, healing, and speaking about the nature of the world and the nature of God. And depending on who heard the words, they were either challenging or welcoming, sometimes both. I'm going to read 3 of these statements. The first time, as you sit, imagine that these words are simply moving over you or by you, like a little stream of water or maybe a little breeze, a gust of wind, and you're just allowing them to wash by you, wash over you. They're not really moving into your perception. They're just moving by. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. For the second reading, I will give a lot more space in between. And this time, engage with the words however you like. You can play with them, you can test out their shape, visualize them, bring them into your imagination. Imagine that they're filling the sky and you can see every letter. Or imagine that you're sitting and listening to them being said. Whatever comes to you, just allow it to come. And as you do so, ask yourself the question, beyond the audacity of these words, what could this mean if they were true? What would it be like? What would it mean if they were true? What would it mean if they were not true? You can wrestle with the words, or you can just admire the sounds of them. Or you can imagine the reaction of the people hearing them. Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. The third reading. This time, as the words go by you, if there's anything that is still asking you to pay attention or to lean in a little bit, you can play with that. Play with what has been the thing that has come to you out of this meditation. Imagine gathering those things together and holding on to them. Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." Jesus said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die." Come back to your little pond, your pool of water. To the gentle presence of the divine. And come back to your breath. In a moment, as you're ready, bring yourself back to the circle and prepare to join in the sharing circle with the others who are here. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.